The formulation of the national culture policy is an important one for a developing country with a multiracial society like Guyana. This policy will be used as a guideline in designing, formulating, and sustaining the national identity of Guyana in the world. However, the implementation is a complex process, as explained by cultural advisor at the Ministry of Education, Ruel Johnson.
Trying to move away from the model where government comes up with policy that is not based on any sort of consultation by the people who the policy is supposed to benefit. So we invited, first of all, the general public, but we invited people who have been involved in the arts and culture overall to get their input and say what their priorities are and how it is that we as government can create policy that speaks directly to those concerned.
What the government is attempting to do is to formulate a strategy for the formulation of the necessary legislation aimed at taking the creative industry forward. The policy will focus on areas such as heritage presentation, creative industries development, copyright protection, mainstreaming cultural development, among other things. Johnson said the policy will give the go-ahead to integrate culture into social cohesion efforts that the government is focusing on at present.
Enough of us are of the consensus that this is what we need to go forward. The question is, why is that important? Every international framework that we're part of, and this is in addition to our own local imperatives, every international framework we're part of has stresses the need for development of policy to mainstream culture and development.
Once the consultations end, the ministry will be seeking ways to get the necessary protection for artists and cultural workers and to have the necessary legislative framework which will enable them to benefit from their own work and creativity. The ministry also plans to have outreach meetings in all the regions following the consultations, which will give persons the opportunity to vent ideas about how culture could be developed in their respective regions.
So we're going to be on the ground to have as wide and as comprehensive a consultative process as possible. And then in around April of next year, the idea is to reach back at a national conference, hopefully one that is well attended, put the findings of the on the ground consultations and the national consultations and the research, as well as our own internal restructuring to deal with those concerns and put it to the public. So this is what we've come up with. How do we refine it further?
The consultations will continue on Friday, where they will be talking about identifying and preserving cultural heritage. Saturday's discussion will focus on creative industries development. The event will be from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the Arthur Chung Convention Center on both days. It is open to the public free of cost. Royden James, HGP Nightly News.